When people ask me about this experience, more than anything, I feel like it's a really unique opportunity for us MSIH students to go somewhere, first and foremost, that we've never been, and to really experience both medicine and a different culture firsthand. An average day in Requena was always interesting.
Wake up around 6 o'clock, very cold shower. Meet the boys, walk down the main road to our one and only coffee shop that's open that early. Sit down, have coffee, really basic breakfast, egg sandwich, or for me, a piece of cake.
Definitely that morning ritual was pretty cool. Getting up, getting a cup of coffee, just taking it in for a moment, having a little sandwich, looking back at the clinic and just going, okay, I think I can do this today. I did enjoy that, yeah. Requena is a town of about 16,000 people. Depending on how you get there, it can be an overnight trip. It's in the jungle. You feel very far from everything else.
The area we're in of Peru is near the Peruvian Amazon. It's very tropical. Right now it's very wet. So what that means is we see a lot of tropical diseases, in particular a lot of things that are borne by mosquito. For example, malaria, dengue, other pathologies such as leptospirosis, which come with the rising tides.
Speaking Spanish was absolutely critical to this rotation, especially in Peru. There are very few providers that spoke English. A lot of them could maybe read a manuscript, but being able to speak in Spanish was not just important with dealing with the physicians who were your supervisors, but it was also really critical for getting any important information that you needed from the patients.
Being able to speak their language really helped us integrate pretty seamlessly into the team in Requena.
Even before going in, we went to have coffee with the head of the clinic. We spoke to him, and I think it relaxed the atmosphere. We weren't just students rotating. We actually became people who were interested and curious and asked questions about their life and what they needed. So even before we actually came in to start our rotation, we had a better idea, and they also had a better idea of who we were.
We had several physicians and residents that were extremely talented. I was just surprised that they would give us the time of day, and that they were so willing to take us alongside and make sure that we understood what the thought process was. They pushed us, but they were very nice about it. They were extremely competent, very talented doctors, and it was just an honor to work with them.
The doctors, for the most part, knew that we were coming in as fourth-year medical students, right on the brink of starting residency. They knew we could, do the basic anamnesis, do a physical exam, maybe think about a treatment plan, and then go from there. It was a really nice feeling to be able to work with someone and not just observe and learn passively, but rather be active with both your hands and your clinical skills and your conversational and communication skills, and really get to both practice and really help the clinic run a bit smoother.
At the beginning, they would place us in different departments according to what we were interested in, and then we ended up placing ourselves, which worked out because some of us actually are interested in one field but wanted to experience another. And I think Requena gave us that opportunity because it was quite a small clinic and there weren't that many people, so I didn't feel like we were overloading any doctor, any physician there, any nurse. We could really go and be free-flowing according to what was going on. So if there were births, we could go and check that out. If somebody wanted to do ER that day, they would be able to go do that, or peds, or general medicine. And we would stay there till about 1, get lunch, and then go to the gym at 4. The gym has been a really important part of my experience. I feel very lucky that in both places, in Iquitos and in Requena, we were able to find gyms.
I have to talk about the Requena gym. It's really fascinating. So we found a little gym that they had converted from a stilt home, basically, into this small functioning gym that it was clear that they couldn't get all the equipment they needed out there. So they would fasten chain tires, like bicycle chain tires, together and created dumbbell sets out of it.
It was actually in someone's house, which I loved. That person had actually built the gym with her husband. They got all recycled parts to make the weights and the machines. They were incredibly welcoming. I became very close with the owner and a friend of hers who were actually the only 2 women using that gym. We would see each other every day, and they asked me to train them, and I was really honored, and it was actually really moving for me because I felt like outside of the clinic, I actually did make an impact on these women's lives.
To me, global health is something that you can really practice anywhere. Medicine is more or less the same wherever you go.
I think global health in that sense has to be an intentional effort by doctors to make a value statement about people and say that we're all in this boat together. We all share kind of a common fate.
And I think the key is learning to take your training and your skills and to apply them to a new environment in a way that both makes sense medically and makes sense in the context of the place that you're working in.
I feel that MSIH is the right program for the right person. And I think that I have had an absolutely amazing experience here, and I love being in different worlds all the way from Israel here to Peru. I've had some opportunities to even do some volunteer work in Jordan and several other countries. And that's something that I love. And if you love that, MSIH may be a perfect program for you.
The mark of someone who's really going to succeed is someone who's going to be able to confront and adjust to changing situations, to someone who's going to be able to problem solve when things aren't quite going their way.
You will come across cultural differences, a lot of diseases that you haven't seen before, and great experiences. So for me, that is global health. That's really touching other cultures, other communities, but your own, and being able to bring all of that together with medicine, which I think is the most incredible part of our work, is just being able to reach people through that.